I first met Mike in 1978. I was a graduate student and at Stanford University's M.P.A program. It's Administration and Policy Analysis. And Mike taught a course then, it was a required course called The Politics of Education.
After Proposition 13, when Jerry Brown was governor the first time, there were cuts and cuts and cuts to education in California, to the point where by 2010, we were one of the lowest spending states, one of the lowest achieving states, one of the states with the worst educational conditions of almost any state in the nation. So he brought his budget sensibilities to a very innovative reform, which has created an entirely different way of doing business around education in California.
But as you probably know, Linda Darling-Hammond took over as the board's president for California Board of Education after Mike had done that. I listened to both him and her in my interviews that I did with both of them. Tell these great stories about how some of their policy was done as they walked up and down the hills of Palo Alto in their faculty ghetto. And it just brought sort of a human element to something that was often just sort of sterile, local control funding formula. Linda Darling, who now runs policy in a study, know that just two human beings were there sort of figuring this out as they were hiking around.
Mike is a very fast walker as well as talker. And so I would be scurrying along next to him, trying to keep up as we were thinking together about how to help the state, turn the corner and get on a more productive path towards student success.
I was able to have an interview with Jerry Brown, but he said very clearly, this reform, this local control funding formula, first of all, probably would not have been formulated if it weren't for Mike. And it certainly would have never got through all the legislative hoops and it was passed into law if it were not for Mike. And so I'm just going to team up with Jerry Brown and say, I think the most important thing that Mike has done for California education is to team up with Jerry Brown and get great reform passed.
Well, I want to congratulate Mike on this award. There have been many recognitions, and this is one that is very well earned. And I look forward to, as soon as your knee heals and mine does, more of those long walks together as we continue the work in the days ahead.
And I just want to say, get well, and let's get that other book that you're working on out.